What we want to do is we want to come down and search for it. So you can come down and in the search tab, look for command prompt, and you see it comes up straight away. I'll click that, and then it brings me up this box. So from here, what you usually do is you run an ipconfig command. And what that does is it'll scan the network you're connected to. It'll give you your IP address, the gateway, the subnet mask, and all of that. So what I'll do, I'll run it, ipconfig. So literally just type it in like that, no spaces, hit enter, and it comes up. And you can see we're connected via wireless LAN adapter, which is our Wi-Fi, and these are our details. So 192.168.0.103, that's my address. Subnet masks 255.255.255.0, and the default gateway is 192.168.0.254. So now that's what I really want. The default gateway is the address of your router.
Yeah.
So all I want now is I'm going to grab a new
page. That's different to the public IP address, but
that's different. Correct.
Yeah.
This is all on the local network, but it's the address of the router, which I want to go in and program because that's where you open the ports in the router itself.
Yeah.
So I'm going to grab that address, which is .254, and I'll grab a new one of these. I've got 192.
You've got 102.
6. Oh, did I? Okay. 192.168.0.254. If I hit enter, it should bring me to a login screen. Perfect. Right. I'm just taking a guess, but generally it's just admin or admin password or something like that. You can usually Google. There you go. I'm in.
So it was admin?
It was admin, yep.
Right.
So now, what I need to do is open some ports. It's pretty straightforward. So every single router is different. So sometimes you need to Google, but it's all generally pretty straightforward. It's either under WAN or forwarding or something like that. So you can find it easy enough. So I'll check it out. Virtual servers, UPnP, no, maybe it's under access control. No. Dynamic, it's probably... It's probably going to be that first one, the virtual rules. Yeah, okay. Unless network WAN. No, okay. Let's go forwarding. Port triggering. DMZ, UPnP. I'm going to assume it's virtual servers on this one. But we can... Let's go add new and we'll see what happens. Yeah, okay, this is what we want. So essentially, what you want to do is we need to pick some port numbers. And you know what? I've probably done this in the wrong order, to be honest. Let's put... Yeah, let's put a... Let's put a hold on that for 2 seconds. Because what we probably need to do first is set up the cameras. These cameras come with what we call Bonjour enabled, which is basically like a protocol that will allow them to be seen on the Windows network.
Yep.
So if we come over here, if we go just to, you grab just the File Explorer or My Computer or anything like that. So let's go any File Explorer like that.
Yep.
Come down to Network Discovery. Yeah, okay. So I need to just turn on Network Discovery. Okay, there we go. This here will be my camera. It'll always find everything. You've got a desktop there. It's found a wireless router. So that's probably me, the router, and then other devices is where it will always come up, and that'll be our camera.
Right.
So if I double click that, it should take me to a Dahua login screen,
yep.
Which it does. And the password is admin.
It's not working.
Yeah. I came across this before. So it's a Google Chrome thing. It's blocking me out, so I won't use Google Chrome. I'll come to Internet Explorer. And I'll go admin. And you can see it's got 192.168.0.102, and then it's grabbed a port 3780.
37080.
37080,
yep.
Yeah, that's fine. So what I'll do, once I'm logged in with admin, I come over to setup on the camera, and then there's only a couple things I need to do, and they're pretty much all under network here on the side. So I go network, and then the first thing I want to do is go TCP/IP. And then what I'll do, as you remember, we talked about this before, you've got DHCP and static.
Yep.
Now, because I'm going to open these ports, I don't want this IP changing every 2 seconds.
So you want it static.
So I'm going to make it static, yeah?
Yep.
And now it's assigned me 102, so I know it's a free address. So if it's a busy network, let's say there are hundreds of devices on it and there's an IT guy who manages it, you may want to
Just ask him for
ask him for one, and you can set it manually. But on this, there's only a couple of things on there, and it's assigned me this, so I know it's free. So I'm just going to do that, change it to static, and hit save. So now I will always be .102, even if I power cycle. Then the next thing I want to do is go to UPnP, and what I'll do, and you don't.
So what's UPnP?
UPnP is a protocol that automatically opens the ports for you.
Okay.
So, and as you can see, it has actually worked on this router here. But what we find is it's not very stable. It might work now, all your ports might open, but then the camera might go idle and then the ports will close, or you might power cycle it and then they don't all open again successfully. So for your own sanity down the track, I always just disable it, don't use it, and open the ports manually.
Okay, so we're going to disable
Yeah,
it.
so I'm just going to untick that enable box.
And then untick
save
all the
it.
boxes, or?
No, that's it. Just that'll do the entire screen. Just that enable. Save it. So I've turned off my UPnP, and then the last thing I want to do is pick my ports. So these are all the ports that I need open. You got TCP, UDP, HCP, RSTP, and HTTPS.
Right.
So now I could use these exact ports and go open a new rule in every router, a new rule for every single port.
Yep.
Right? That honestly, it's a bit of a pain in the ass, and you'll never remember all these. You have to write them down. But these are completely changeable. So what I always do is I pick just the range. So I'll go 50,000, and then I will go 50,001.
Yep.
And then
50,002.
Exactly right, yeah. And this is just the easiest way to do it. And if you come up with some kind of numbering scheme, then you'll always know when you come to site, okay, I've got camera 3 is out, so I just need to check ports 53,000 to 53,004, for example.
Right.
So you can come up with your own numbering scheme so you can keep your sites uniform. There you go. Device is restarting, and that's all I need to do. So all I've done is disable that UPnP protocol, which was going to be automatically trying to open ports.
Yep.
I've made my IP address static, and then I've just chosen what ports I want to use, and that's it. 3 things.
Right.
So now it's restarting. So all I'll do now is I will come back to my network, and I'll just keep refreshing until this guy comes back up again. So it's rebooting at the moment, taking all the new settings. And as you can see, when I refresh, it disappeared. So I'll just wait, and then I'll refresh again until it comes back on the list, and I can log back into it.
Right. I might just pause here for a sec.
Comes up, and you can see it's got the IP address, and it's got my new port, 50,002, which was my HTTP port in there.
Right.
So now, the reason I say we jumped a little bit ahead now, because we need to open the ports, but we hadn't even selected what our IP address or what the ports were going to be yet. Okay. So now I know what everything is. I'll go service ports, and you can see here, you can put in a port, or you can go XX, or you can do the port dash and then another port, so you can do a range.
Yep.
So rather than write a port for 3550, hit save, and go open another rule and then another rule, I'm literally just going to go 50,000 to 50,004. Internal port should be the same. So we just leave that blank if it lets us, because the internal port's always the same. And then IP address, pretty straightforward. This is our internal IP address.
So that's
192.168.0.102.
Yep.
192.168.0.102. Protocol, TCP or UDP are your 2 options. Now, you probably don't remember. Just jump in here. So you probably don't remember, but if we go back here, and I'll show you network connection. You see TCP, so all of these are TCP ports, except for that UDP port.
Yep.
So the TCP, HTTP, these are all versions of TCP, but that's UDP. So you kind of want both. You could specify just those 4 ports as TCP and that as UDP, but if it gives you the option, my recommendation is always to just leave it as all. So just say you open the TCP and UDP on that entire range.
Right.
Status enabled, Common service port. I don't know. Hopefully we can just leave that blank. And I'll hit save. Done. That's it. There's our rule. They're open for both TCP and UDP. Oops. And that's it. So now